Hey, how y'all doing? Here we are, Shennis Productions, 50 plus. My cohort over here, Sean Adams, and we got a special guest here called Jeff SHAD. He's a guitar player.
Yeah, he's been a friend of mine for a little while. What's going on, Jeff?
I just thought I'd come over and see if you guys wanted to jam and play some of the funky old-time music we've been working on.
The funky old-time music. Well, tell us about that funky old-time music, Jeff.
Oh, what can I tell you? You know all about it. You're the...
Probably started back in the 50s or something with you 60s, I don't know.
Well, my first concert was Elvis when I was 9 years old.
Really?
Yeah, saw Elvis and got so excited I puked in the car.
Right. But that must have been a monumental time when you think back of it.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it must have. Did you go with your dad or mom or anything?
Both, yeah.
Ah, that would be wonderful. Oh.
Well, what year was
My
that?
stepdad actually and my mom. I was 9 years old, so that would have been right around 1970.
Really, 1970.
Wow, and Elvis was still alive up to 1976. 77. I'm sorry.
That was the same year that the beautiful Miss Janis Joplin died.
Yeah, and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Jim Morrison.
What's some icons in our lives, huh?
Yeah.
I believe they were known as the Idiot Club.
I went.
Well, they actually all decided to end their lives somehow at 27, but that I believe.
I believe it was known as being in the Idiot Club.
The Idiot Club, yes.
Right.
It did.
Do drugs. It's the best thing.
Yes. Not.
Well, if you're going to do drugs, make sure you do them until you're dead.
Well, just drink beer.
Well, drink beer, maybe a little, the hoochie coochie, but maybe not.
Well, that all depends on the American government and Randall and Porter Cable. I'd like to introduce the new Porter Cable 135 PSI amp that we got for Mr. Jeff SHAD. It's air powered.
Maybe we should move this a little ahead. We should be talking about what about one of the best concerts you ever been to? Who would you say was one of the best?
Well, I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan with Jeff Beck.
Ooh,
that was a good show. I saw Frank Zappa in '78, and then I saw Dweezil, his son, doing Zappa.
Weasel?
really?
Weasel?
Dweezil.
Oh my God, Dweezil.
Where do you think that name ever came from?
I don't know. I think from the Weasels Rip My Flesh album. And that was a great show.
So, Mr. SHAD, I noticed you play a Fender Stratocaster. It's a very beautiful guitar. Do you mind playing a little something?
Yeah,
for
give us a little lick.
Well, that's something else. That's all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's all right.
So, how long you been playing, Jeff?
I started noodling about 5 when I got hooked on Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they call noodling now? That's when you stick your hand down in damn water and you stick
Yeah, but I think we want to stay for the interview there, Mr. Shennis.
My name is Shad.
Yeah.
I believe the interview is with Mr. Shad.
But
No, but you brought
Elvis
up
led
noodling.
to the Beatles, which led to Hendrix,
Right.
which, it leads to harder stuff.
So what do you think of the
was
Beatles? Did you really think like they were better than God?
I think they were a close second.
Right.
I think they're pretty good.
What do you think of John Lennon, how he was shot out in '81?
John Lennon, I don't know if that was a conspiracy theory thing or if it was just a psycho that shot a guy.
Yeah. I remember the day well myself.
Yeah, I loved him.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
There was snow on the ground. I had to walk home from work, and I went over to my buddy's house, and I find out he's dead, and everyone's crying. It's just like when Jerry Garcia died.
Yeah.
People crying.
That didn't affect me like John Lennon, but I didn't have that personal attachment to the Grateful Dead like a lot of people do. But,
They were a very, very popular band for a certain section of America. And I'm not segregating or anything. I'm just saying that certain people like the Grateful Dead, certain people like the Beatles, certain people like
well, I like
the Who.
I like the
people,
Dead all right. They're okay, but they weren't one of my favorite bands. I was more into, you know, all the guitar guys, Santana and Robin Trower and Pat Travers and all.
Yeah. Now,
you know,
Pat Travers, I'll tell you, you mentioned that, and that is something else, because that was some of the first music I ever played.
He has a new record out. He's still doing it. He's
That is
great.
awesome stuff, and you know, the Pat Travers that I knew back in the early '70s and the mid '70s.
Making
That
Magic.
stuff.
And,
Oh, all of that, yeah.
So let me ask you a question back to the Grateful Dead. Do you believe the hippie movement had anything to do with the Grateful Dead?
well,
Or vice versa?
I feel like they were just a byproduct of the hippie movement, and I don't really understand how they came to be the main icon of the whole thing. Because
Like,
really,
where's the love and all
Yeah,
that
they
good
don't-
stuff?
they
Hey
don't
man, peace,
represent
love,
the-
happiness.
I went to a lot of Dead shows, and I saw the starving, dirty kids that followed them around and, hey brother, I'm praying for a miracle, man. It's like, it'll be a miracle when you go home to your folks and take a bath.
That's
You know?
it.
And it's like, if they're such cool hippies, why didn't they run a soup line outside the show for the
Why
starving
can't they take
people
care
that
of
love them
themselves?
so much?
Yeah,
I don't,
they love it.
Well, you know,
it just wasn't my
Right.
thing.
Love.
back then,
They're
Yeah.
cool. I don't
Yeah,
want to
Yeah,
talk
they're
bad
all right.
about them.
No, but
but,
you know,
I mean-
when they say "Where's the love?" I gotta look it right at them and say right off the bat, the love left in '69. It was gone after '69.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, if
And
you
they're
go
still
to,
playing that same old, same old.
if you go to Hayden Ashbury nowadays, you're lucky if you don't get mugged. You know, it's not.
you know,
So,
we're
same thing.
getting close to a commercial break here, Mr. Shennis. What do you think about asking Mr. SHAD one more?
Yeah, one more to
question.
bring us out so we can bring it to the commercial because we have to
Yeah.
pay our bills.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And we'll be back for another episode. Thank you very much.
50 plus.